welcome back. Iron Educator here, and I am so happy that you are joining me once again for what would be, I think, our fourth installment of our little podcast series here. So this one we're going to call The Secret. And you want to know a secret? Do you really want to know one? Well, you're in luck, because I'm going to share a doozy with you today. In preparing for any endurance event, I need to have quite the game plan. As a husband and father of four, I can't just say, see you guys later, and disappear for a 5-hour bike ride. Therefore, workouts and honestly, the journey in general regarding the Ironman or any endurance race become time to strengthen my relationships with my kids and my wife. When we can, we swim, bike, and run together if the time permits, because they're busy too. All lives, are busy in their own way. So when they have the opportunity, certainly they join me in a workout if they can. Regardless, this shows that I want them to be part of my endurance aspirations. My wife especially keeps me on track. She's the one that kicks me in the butt when I say I don't really feel like working out on a particular day, or I don't want to go on this bike ride, or I don't feel like swimming for 2 hours, or I don't feel like going for that long run. She actually is my biggest strength during those times, because she's my rock and source of inspiration, because she says, dude, get off your butt and get going. So I'm very thankful for that. When it comes to race time, there has to be, at least for me, true meaning behind it. I have to have a definitive purpose or goal, and for each race that I can remember, I always have had one. Usually it's from raising money for children in need, especially autism, or to honoring the loss of a loved one. Any race that I do always has a deep meaning for me. However, I can never forget that throughout any race, no matter how deep a meaning it has for me or whatnot, I have to be ready to go with anything occurring. Plans B through Z and back again, because nothing ever goes as planned. I must evolve. There's a big difference, for example, between swimming 150 laps in a college pool to swimming in the open water of the Pacific Ocean. That's something that only can be experienced by actually getting out there and jumping in, but I had to be ready to evolve and change to meet those conditions. What will I do if I panic, get my goggles knocked off, see a bump in the water, swallow seawater and start choking, all of which have happened in the past? Well, I must evolve constantly throughout the competition or the race. Changes are going to be necessary for surviving any endurance challenge. While I certainly never plan on getting a flat tire on the bike or puking at mile 12 on the run, they're probably going to happen. So I just need to be ready to roll with it, or to evolve with it. To be able to evolve throughout a race, I had to have built a sustainable foundation in my race preparation. I practice for those possibilities to avoid being taken unaware. I swim without goggles, I swallow water, I practice changing flats, and I become very, very aware of what foods and drinks I can take in during a race to avoid becoming nauseous. I also know what gets my blood sugar back up quickly should I indeed puke at some point. And don't worry, I usually do, so I'm used to it. Or college aged. If a child does not believe you truly care for them, they will never give you their best efforts, nor will they ever feel truly welcomed into your learning environment. If this is the case, true learning will never occur. So repeat after me. Relationships are number one. Relationships are number one. And just keep that mantra going, because without them, none of these other three matter anyway. Once relationships are established, though, you must provide meaningful learning experiences. Did you know that it is physically and physiologically impossible to be motivated to learn something you have minimal interest in? Therefore, it's imperative to make even the most mundane of learning objectives into something meaningful for your students. If they don't see the personal connection, more often than not, they'll mentally check out. And even with the best of meaningful experiences, as an educator, you must be willing to evolve. Education, just as most things, is changing rapidly right in front of our eyes. Now, evolving doesn't mean that you have to adhere to every new fad or technology that comes down the pike. It just means that if you find something that you believe would be helpful to your students and is in yours and their best interest, then don't be afraid to give it a try. Even if the concept fails or doesn't meet your hoped expectations, it shows that you are still willing to move forward in your development as an educator. Remember that learning is always open for adults and children alike. Finally, in your willingness to evolve, it shows that you're always looking for ways to improve your craft as an educator. This leads us to possibly the most challenging component of my secret. The final facet of the secret that I use is creating a sustainable learning environment. While bleak, what this means is that if I were to die today, my students would be able to carry on the high level of learning, effort, and behavioral expectations that I have built with them through our time together. This is challenging, but certainly feasible. From day one, it takes building a foundation of trust, togetherness, along with constantly sharing your high expectations. In doing so, though, remember it's also very important to constantly recognize your students' efforts. Recognition is one of the greatest motivators for us as a human species. We love to be recognized. So if your students see that you are appreciative and proud of their efforts, this inspires them to continue this process, and that's how I build sustainability within my classroom. So my friends, even though a secret is supposed to be something that is kept or meant to be kept unknown or unseen by others, I am more than happy to have shared this special secret of mine, which not only helps me survive endurance events, but that other draining yet rewarding experience, teaching.